All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Too Easy Sports Betting. I'm Trice Too Easy. Guys, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you've been here, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. It helps me in my channel a lot. And lastly, if you would like to join my sports betting community and Discord server, it'll be in the pinned comment and in the description of the video. Okay, guys, Monday Night Football. Thank God we have two games, because if we only had one, this would be a very disappointing day. At least we got two games to bet on. Tomorrow, MLB gets crazy. These wild card games start. It's going to be very serious, very competitive. It's the best time of the year for baseball. So we got these couple of these games tonight that are, whatever, but it's football. I'm sure the script will make it exciting. And then Tuesday, we got wild cards, some of the best baseball we'll see. So I'm very excited about that. Go Reds, baby. We made it. We made it to the post. We are officially in the postseason, traveling to LA to see them Dodgers and beat them down bad, and then come back to Cincinnati where we continue to ball. Go Reds. We needed that because the Bengals season is over. So we needed that. Anyways, let's get into it. Full show. We'll do a bad beat, big winner, player props, touchdowns. Then we'll get into these two games. We'll dissect them. Tell you guys what I'm thinking. Tell you guys where I'm at. Hopefully we can get some money and crack these folks. All right, guys. Bad beat yesterday. Jake Ferguson just could not get 50 yards. That is sickening. It was posted by Jenny Boo in the Discord. She needed 10 yards from Ferguson. They went 5 quarters, and he was just abused. He was never targeted. Neither of these tight ends got much action. But Jake Ferguson was really just not targeted at all. That's sickening. And what's crazy is his last 2 games, he's had like 80 or more yards. He had a 100-yard game and an 80-yard game. He was seeming like he'd be a big part of the offense. Come out here and only give him 40 yards. Sick beat. As far as the big winner, posted by Big Dan, $34 to $1,100. This ticket is insane. 3 Dobbs touchdowns, 2 Pickens touchdowns, to over 52.5. Dak for 200. Like this ticket's just insane. Good hit. Congratulations. Enjoy that money. Get them strikeout parlays ready. We're gonna need them starting tomorrow. I also was on that over 52.5. I bet that live. I put $1,000 on it. Cracked the ass. I think I made $950. I almost got even money. So I actually was on that 52.5, sweating it a little bit. Game ended up being 80 points. So we'll take those. As far as player props that I will be on today, guys, there's only 2, and I like them a lot. I am betting them. Player props have been awful. NFL's been awful, but hopefully I'm feeling confident about tonight. First prop I'm on. Breece Hall, over 56.5 rushing. Guys, to keep it simple without saying too much, because we're going to get into the actual game itself and dissect it. Dolphins defense sucks. It's that simple. Breece Hall is a staple for the Jets team. They have to develop the run, and I know he's had 2 games where he didn't get it, but versus Buffalo, he never had a chance because Buffalo came out firing, so the Jets were forced to pass the whole game. They never just had a chance to develop the run, really. And versus the Bucks, well, you can't run on the Bucks. They have one of the best rush defenses in the league. When he saw a team like the Steelers, who didn't just blow down the field and blow them out, and they actually had a chance to play a standard football game, he rushed for 107. Tonight, he should have a chance to play a standard football game versus the bummy Dolphins, right? So I think this line is way too low, in my opinion. Next prop I'll be on, again, going back to the running back, J.K. Dobbins. Guys, the Bengals are awful. They can't stop the run. They're riddled with injury. They're 27th versus the running back. Bottom in the league. Bottom 5 in the league versus running backs. I think the Broncos, again, a very standard game. Run, pass, run, pass. Dobbins should be highly incorporated into this. Mind you, he got 76 on the Colts. Their running D is great. He got 83 versus the Chargers. Their running D is also good. I would be shocked if the Bengals are somehow able to stop DK Dobbins. And I think his line should be around 80. You're getting 64.5, similar to Breece Hall's 55. These lines are very, very low. And I think these are good spots for these guys to do well. Okay. As far as touchdowns tonight, there's 2 touchdown props I love. First one, it'd actually help if I upload the picture. Give me a second here so I can actually get who I have for touchdowns. Ooh, I blew it. Hold on one second. I have it somewhere. Hold on. What'd I do with my touchdown graphic? Hold on. I should have had this ready. Sorry, guys. All right, I got it. Here we go. Okay. Garrett Wilson to get a touchdown at plus 170. I'm sorry, but that's crazy. That is just crazy. And then Cortland Sutton at plus 142. Guys, the chance that Bengals are big play just victims. They give up big play after big play after big play. There's a very high chance Cortland catches a 30 to 60 yard touchdown pass. Not to mention they have no red zone D. So I'm not saying J.K. Dobbins won't get in, but I think Cortland's chance is almost just as likely, and you don't have to lay all that juice, right? Dobbins is like minus 140. Sutton's at plus 150 almost, and it's like he's very likely to score as well. So, and he scored 2 out of 3 games already. So I really like him to get a touchdown tonight. Okay, guys. Anyways, let's get into these 2 games and talk about them. We will start with the Jets going to Miami to see the Dolphins. Let's get into it and start with where the money's going. So, looking at this game, guys, this should give you alarms. They should be going off because most of the bets, 56% of the bets are going on the Dolphins on the money line. So there's more money there's more bets in general. More people, 56% are betting the Dolphins. But a lot more money is coming in on the Jets money line. Anytime you see this like reverse chart where there's more bets coming on one team, but more money coming on the other, your alarms and spidey senses need to start tingling. That's telling you that people with deep pockets, big money, because when you have 12% more people betting one team, but then 57% of the money's going on the other, that tells you that's a bunch of little guys, small fries, rec bettors are nuking the Dolphins because they're just right. They just think the Dolphins are better. They know Tyreek Hill and they think that the Dolphins are better. Sharp, big money guys with big pockets, more money to push that needle to be 57% of the money is going on the Jets. That means people are dropping bombs on the Jets money line at plus money. So be cautious of that. Very cautious of that, guys. Sharp money does not lose often. When you see this type of chart, it is really weird that this side loses. Do with that as you will. I'm just telling you, it is really weird for this side to lose when more of the bets are on one and more of the money's on the other. That's never good if you're going to be on them Dolphins. Okay. As far as the actual game itself, let's go ahead and get into it. Dolphins are laying 2.5. Jets are plus 2.5. Dolphins money line is super juiced. This is a battle of the bums extraordinaire. Both these teams are 0-3, and both these teams desperately need a win. Let's start with what we know looking at the team's overall health. The Jets are rather healthy. They're a little bit beat up on defense in the linebacker position, so maybe the Dolphins will look to work the run because they're running two of their 3 starting linebackers are injured. So, maybe that causes some problems. Jamarcus Weston's out. Quincy Williams is out. So perhaps the Dolphins are going to try to run the ball with a Shane, which they've looked terrible. They haven't ran at all this season. They can't do anything right. But maybe an angle for the Dolphins would be their running. That said, outside of the linebacker issues, they got Brian Cowart. He's hurt. But the secondary is by far and large outside linebacker is going to be fine. And the offense is pretty much fully healthy. Justin Fields back. I think the Jets by far and large are healthy, but they're missing a couple linebackers. It's not like that's an easy thing to be missing. As far as the Dolphins, this team, I don't know what these personal trainers feed these boys. These guys are always just beat to hell. Tua's a walking injury waiting to happen. We all know that. Left guard, left tackle, centers, right guards, all their backups. This Dolphins offensive line is bad. So even though I don't know that they can get pushed, I don't know that they can protect Tua, it's going to be ugly, I'm sure. On defense, somewhat they're pretty healthy. It's more so this offense is the problem. I don't know. They're beat up pretty bad. So by far and large, the Jets are pretty healthy outside of a couple linebackers. The Dolphins are pretty beat up on offensive line. That's kind of where it's at. Defense is pretty healthy overall. Now, as far as who have they played, right? You got to look at are they healthy, and you got to look at who they've played. The Jets, they've had a tough schedule. They saw them Steelers, who we know they scrappy as hell. That's a tough team. They lost by 2. They saw the Buccaneers. They lost by 2. That's another tough team. Then they saw the Bills and they got beat pretty bad. I think the Bills are a terrible matchup for a team like the Jets, though. Jets need to be able to play standard football. Develop a run, get a few yards, grind it out, play action pass, quick route, similar to like the Chiefs. They need to be able to, but the Chiefs never run. They need to be able to run, pass, run, pass, run, pass. Like they need to be able to play a standard, slow paced football game. Bills aren't going to let you do that because the Bills are going to score in 3 plays. And now you're behind and now you can't develop your run. And now you got to pass. And plus the quarterback was injured, right? So that was rough. That said, I think the Jets have played well, all things considered, especially missing Fields for 2 games, and they still only lost to the Bucs by 2. That's not bad, and they almost beat the Steelers. On the flip side, you look at the Dolphins, murdered by the Colts. That was bad, 8-33. Second game, they come out versus the Pats. They lose by 5, but this is a good-looking 5. It was worse. They looked terrible. Then versus the Bills, they lost by 10, and they actually looked pretty good that last game. I will give them that. They did look pretty good versus the Bills. It was impressive. So what to do? I mean, both these teams have not had necessarily easy schedules. Now, where do they stand on the seasons number-wise? Jets are the worst team in football at passing. They're one of the worst teams at running. They have a good pass defense, and they have a terrible rushing defense. Again, if you think that the Dolphins can run the ball, they haven't shown us they can, but you're missing linebackers, and they are already 23rd in rushing defense anyway. So Jets cannot stop the run. If you want to look at a Shane props, be my guess his line was at like 90, and without showing us that he can run, I wasn't going to do that. But basically, the Jets are bottom 10 in almost every category besides pass defense. You can't really pass on them. Their red zone D is good as well, so there's some bright spots there, but by far and large, the team's bad. If you look, but again, the strength of schedule's been tough. If you look at the Dolphins, bottom 10 in every metric. Rushing defense 28th, pass defense 21, rush offense 28, passing offense 21. So bottom 11 in all categories. They can't pass, they can't run, they have no defense. There's pretty much nothing good to say about the Dolphins currently. They also have no red zone D either. There's nothing good to say about them. The only good thing we can really say about these two teams is when they get to the red zone, they do score. The times they've gotten there, they've punched it in. They're 6th in red zone offense and 4th in red zone offense. So if they can get down there, they will score. The problem is actually getting there. Other than that, there's nothing good to say about either team. For this one, guys, I think this game is a complete coin flip. I don't see an advantage necessarily for either team. The only thing I will say, and the reason why I'm going to be on the Jets money line at big plus money is, for one, we saw that the sharp money is on the Jets. More bets are coming in on the Dolphins, but more money is coming in on the Jets. I never like betting against that basically ever, because sharp money does not like to lose. These are people with enough money to buy the refs, to buy the players, to rig things. These are guys who bet millions of dollars on games, and they're moving that needle where there's way more people betting the Dolphins, but more money's coming in on the Jets. You got to have deep, deep pockets to cause that needle to move. I don't like betting against that, and the Jets are capable of stopping the pass. I don't think the Dolphins can pass on the Jets. I think Tua will throw interceptions if he's forced to pass. I think he'll turn over the ball and not convert third down. So if the Dolphins can run the ball versus the Jets, they will win this game. If a Shane can pop off and just run the ball and the Jets can't stop it, they'll win. I don't see it. They haven't shown me that they can run the ball yet. I think it should be a coin flip, if not even money. You got big money coming in on the Jets. We're getting big plus money. I'm going to lean the Jets money line. Okay, guys. Next game, we've got the Bengals and the Broncos. Let's start with what the money's doing, though. And if you take a look here, everything is on the Broncos. 91% of bets are on the Broncos. 59% of the money is on the Broncos. 65% of the bets on the spread for the Broncos, 69% of the money on the spread for the Broncos. Everything's on the Broncos, guys. Everything. Oh, and by the way, that last game, the Dolphins, all the money's on the under. For this one, it's split. Nobody knows if it's going over or under, but everybody's pretty much on the Broncos. Okay, guys? So anyways, let's talk about what we know and what we think is going to happen here. So first things first, are the teams healthy? As you all know, the Bengals lost Joe Burrow. The Bengals without Joe Burrow are nothing. Jake Browning, he looked awful, and I mean awful versus the Vikings. The kid turned over the ball like 6 times. He couldn't do anything right. The Bengals on offense, though, are extremely healthy. Outside of Joe Burrow, the team is fine, and all their weapons are good. But when you have all these weapons and no gun to shoot it with, it's useless. They don't have a quarterback. It's a problem. On defense, Bengals again, fully healthy. Doesn't matter. Their defense is shit. they are ass. So even though the Bengals D is good, it's like, who cares? They are ass. They can't stop anybody anyways. So the Bengals have basically the worst defense in the world, and the offense is all the weapons in the world with no gun to shoot all the bullets, no gun to shoot them. Jake Burrow being out there, they're useless. Flip side, if you take a look at the Broncos, by far and large, this team's pretty healthy and stays healthy. They don't typically struggle with injuries. Now, Marvin Mims Jr. is questionable. I think he's going to play. Fullback injury, and then a right guard with Nick is injured. But by far and large, like, this team the offense is fully healthy. And then if you look at the defense, you got a tackle hurt, a right linebacker. Drake Greenland is on injury reserve. But for the most part, this team is healthy and just fine. So you have two pretty fully healthy teams, minus the fact that the Bengals are missing the only thing they have, which is Joe Burrow. Now, who have these teams played? Bengals saw the Vikings the first game without Joe Burrow and lost by 38 points. It was 10-48. They turned over the ball like 10 times. They could never get any yards going. They couldn't move the ball. They couldn't run. They couldn't pass. It was pathetic. They lost they beat the Jaguars by 4 and they beat the Browns by 1 in other 2 games, but those games don't count. They had Joe Burrow, and still barely beating the Jags and barely beating the Browns by 1, even with Joe Burrow and all your weapons. That just shows how bad this defense is. Jags scored 27, Vikings scored 48. Even the Browns scoring 16 is pathetic with how bad their offense is. Now, if you look at the Broncos schedule, they saw the Titans. They saw the Colts. They've seen the Chargers. They've had a very tough schedule. They are 1 win, 2 losses. They lost to the Colts by 1. The Colts are a phenomenal team. Let's be honest. Colts lost yesterday by a touchdown when the one guy fumbled on the half-yard line, went to celebrate and lost the ball and got called for a touchback. I believe that was them Colts, right? Anyways, and then they lost to the Chargers by 3. Another great team. They saw the Chargers, the Colts, and then the Titans, who they beat. They sucked. They beat them. They scored 20, 20, and 28. So that's kind of where the Broncos are at. A pretty solid schedule. It's not a slouch of a schedule. Okay, guys. So what to do here? Well, what do we know about these two teams' current stats as far as where they stand on offense and defense and things like that? If you take a look at the Bengals, they are 27th in pass offense, 32nd in rush offense, 25th in pass defense, 21st in rush defense. They are ass. They're like a bottom 8 team in every category. They can't pass, they can't run, they can't stop the pass, they can't stop the run. There's nothing good to say about anything with the Bengals. As far as the Broncos go, pass offense, 24th. We know that. They don't pass the ball great. Rushing offense, they're number 8. They are the number 8 rushing offense in football versus the 32nd rushing offense in football. The Bengals are not going to be able to develop a run. And Lord knows they can't pass with the current quarterback situation. Bengals also can't stop the run. Broncos are 18th in pass defense, 20th in rushing defense. They're not stopping the run great, doesn't matter. And as far as pass defense goes, I know it's 18th, but they've seen some really good passing teams. Chargers, Colts, you're not going to have great pass defense stats versus them. Their red zone defense is also top tier, number 2nd in the league. So even if the Bengals get down there, they probably can't punch it in. Guys, look, I don't like laying a spread of 7.5 with anybody. The Bengals are they still have tons of weapons. They are still, if they can take care of the ball, which I'm sure they worked on all week, you still can't stop all these guys that the Bengals have, right? You still can't stop Jamar Chase. You still can't stop all their offensive weapons. I worry that if they can take care of the ball and just throw it up a few times, they could somehow make this game competitive. I still think the Broncos probably murder them, but it is possible the Bengals hang in there, I guess. For me, guys, there is one thing that I've seen over and over again, and one thing that I'm certain of. Pretty much every team who sees the Bengals puts up 30 points. We've seen it. We've seen it time and time again, guys. For me, give me the Broncos team total over 26.5. That's where I'm going to go. Rather than take a spread, pick a over, under, pick a side, give me the Broncos to score 27 points. The Bengals are incapable of taking care of the ball. They're incapable of moving the ball. They're incapable of scoring. And they are incapable of stopping other teams from scoring. Not only do I think the Broncos move the ball and score effortlessly, I think the Bengals turn over the ball to them a few times too. I don't see a planet where these Broncos can't get 27 points. So For tonight, give me the Jets on the money line. Give me the Bengals, or give me the Broncos over 26.5 points. Give me J.K. Dobbins to clear his rushing line, and give me Breece Hall to clear his rushing line. That's where I'm going to be at, guys. And as always, take a look at Bet Online. If you deposit up to $500, they give a 50% deposit match. So $500 gives you $250 free dollars. Who doesn't want free money there? And then, of course, Bet 105, you deposit $150, you'll get $75 free. Two of the best sportsbook there are. And Bet 105 offers minus 110 on all player props every Monday night. So you have 2 games where you can get minus 110 on all player props. That is insane. The amount of, the way your parlay odds can get doubled up, tripled up by having 110 on all plays. And even your money, if you're just doing straights, usually you're laying 120, 130, you get 110s. Can't think of any better books to bet on. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Let's get out of here. Let's get a bag. And as always, let's crack these folks.